several rows of fan blades, a steel tube, one end sucking in air and the other blasting out flames. How can something so simple generate tens of tons of thrust? This low-tech machine is so straightforward that even a 14-year-old could understand its basic principle. And today, so can you. This is a fan blade. Blow on it and it starts spinning. Blow harder and it spins even faster. Congratulations! You've just discovered that moving air can create thrust. To produce more thrust, you take a steel tube and install the fan at one end. As the fan spins, air is drawn in and forced out the other end. Then you add more stages of fan blades, expecting even greater performance. But something unexpected happens. The thrust actually becomes weaker. It doesn't take long to figure out why. After passing through the first set of blades, the airflow begins to swirl. Instead of hitting the next stage head-on, it strikes the blades at an awkward angle, almost parallel to their surface, making them far less effective. So, between every pair of rotating blades, you install a row of stationary guide vanes facing the opposite direction. Like rows of tiny fences, they straighten the twisted airflow and redirect it toward the next stage at the perfect angle. Instantly, the compressor becomes far more efficient. Even so, fan thrust alone is still limited. So you add a series of compressor stages with gradually shrinking diameters. Stage after stage, the narrowing passage squeezes the air into a smaller and smaller space. After several compression stages, the air is packed tightly together. Its pressure rises to several times atmospheric pressure, while its temperature climbs to hundreds of degrees. Next, you attach a combustion chamber behind the compressor. Around its inner wall, you install a ring of fuel injectors. As the high-pressure air rushes in, the injectors spray a fine mist of fuel into the chamber. The superheated compressed air ignites the fuel almost instantly with a roar. The temperature skyrockets from a few hundred degrees to well over 1,000 degrees Celsius. The expanding gas erupts like a furious beast, rushing toward the exhaust at tremendous speed and producing enormous thrust. But this engine has one fatal flaw. The front compressor is still powered by an external electric motor. Once the battery runs out, the compressor stops spinning. Without a constant supply of compressed air, combustion immediately dies, and the engine shuts down. Fortunately, there's a solution. Behind the combustion chamber, you install a turbine. The high-speed exhaust gases first strike the turbine blades, causing them to spin. The turbine is connected by a long shaft back to the front compressor, driving it directly. Now the engine becomes self-sustaining. The burning gases spin the turbine. The turbine powers the compressor. The compressor feeds high-pressure air into the combustion chamber, and the combustion chamber keeps producing the hot gases that drive the turbine. A perfect self-sustaining cycle is born. But before you can celebrate, another problem appears. The gases leaving the combustion chamber can exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius. At those temperatures, the turbine blades would quickly soften, deform, or even melt. To solve this, you carve cooling passages inside the combustion chamber walls and through the roots of the turbine blades. Part of the compressed air bypasses the combustion process and flows through these channels. It exits from tiny holes on the blade surface, forming a thin blanket of cool air that clings tightly to the metal. This protective air film shields the blades from the scorching gases, reducing the metal temperature to within the blade's heat-resistant limit. At last, the engine can operate continuously and reliably. Congratulations, you've just built the basic principle of a turbojet engine with your own hands.